In a world where we're constantly being pressured to be productive, we can feel trapped with our same boring routines, but it doesn't have to feel this way. We've got to romanticize our lives because that's when we truly start living and looking forward to every day. Doesn't it sometimes feel like we can easily forget to ever pause long enough to cherish the present moment? So much of life can just pass us by without us ever appreciating everything there is to value in it. And that's part of why the romanticizing your life trend is so popular. It's a solution to the problem of the boring, tiring, monotonous routines that so many of us feel trapped in. Because even though our routines help us stay consistent, they can also deprive us of the excitement and spontaneity we need to really look forward towards our days. Thankfully though, there's so much we can do to romanticize our lives and become the main character that's in charge of it.
Getting older, we don't got time to lose. It feels right when you hold me. Just a little less lonely, sounds cliche, but it's true. I've been missing someone like you. I've had my share of the heartbreakers. Stop letting them in to last weaker. Somehow, yeah.
We hear the phrase just about everywhere, but what does it really mean to romanticize your life, and more importantly, how are we supposed to do it? When I think of romanticizing my life, I always focus on finding meaning in all of the simplest experiences. For me, that's what romanticization is all about, reframing even the most ordinary, seemingly boring parts of our lives so that they can become sources of positivity, gratitude, and happiness for us. Because in my life, that wasn't always the case. I used to drag myself out of bed every day, basically counting down the hours until I could go to sleep again as soon as I woke up. Nothing really excited me, and basically everything about my life felt like a chore. From making food to doing my schoolwork to waking up in time for sports practices. But eventually I realized that it doesn't have to be that way. There's so much of our lives that we can reframe more positively in a way that improves our mood and our day-to-day well-being. A really powerful one for me is framing the various tasks and chores I have to do throughout the day as opportunities rather than obligations. So, for example, rather than complain that I have to make supper, I remind myself how wonderful it is that I have the opportunity to prepare and eat my food at all. Good morning, everyone. I'm with Mike.
Oh, hi. Cheers.
Today, I think we're going to have a very productive day. Oh my god, my hair is a mess. Or instead of lamenting that I have to drag myself into the gym again, I try to frame it as an opportunity to make use of my body and strive towards progress and self-improvement. This doesn't mean, however, that our struggles and circumstances are not valid, or mean that we should be toxically positive about them, but it does suggest that we can learn to find gratitude and appreciating even the most monotonous and repetitive everyday tasks. The trick is to really try and make yourself believe it. Don't just tell yourself that you should be grateful even when you're tired or frustrated and then move on, but really take the time to think about how fortunate we are to be able to go to school, to have a great job, to spend time with our families, even if we sometimes find these things stressful or boring. Really reflecting on the opportunities we're given in life can be a tremendous source of relief and gratitude, especially when we're going through difficult or tiring periods of time. For most of us, there will always be things in our lives that are worthy of recognition and appreciation. We can recognize them as opportunities to grow stronger and more disciplined and make the most of them. Another really powerful thing that we can do is immerse ourselves in activities that we find enjoyable or inspiring, not because they serve any purpose or help you accomplish any goal, but because they're things that we just want to do for our own sake. And this isn't about developing skills or competing with anyone. It's about finding things that we can get lost in for no reason other than just because we enjoy them. Sometimes the best things really are the most simple, and we don't need us to make them any more complicated than they already are.
Believe me, I was the same for you. And for the first time, I'm not looking around. It's enough. It's safe to say this much. I like it on this side of love. I like it on this side of love. This side of love. It's so cliche. Whenever I talk about you, what can I say? You make it
I found somebody, I say you don't cross my mind. And she doesn't know that your favorite.
I feel like I had such a long day today, and I think I want to go on a run because I have not worked out for like 4 days or 5 days, or maybe at least a walk outside. What do you think?
Yes.
Something I've been enjoying a lot recently is reading. I find that good books are able to provide us with stories that inspire our lives by helping us imagine possibilities for ourselves that we couldn't have thought otherwise. Through the books that I read, I can imagine a more positive, inspiring narrative that helps me make sense of my life by focusing on the bigger picture and striving towards better things. We can imagine ourselves as the main characters of our favorite books and our favorite movies, to inspire ourselves to enjoy the little things, to romanticize our daily lives.
About you till First Avenue, that's when I do.
Guys, guess who came back from her run?
Are you vlogging?
No.
Your coffee, please.
No, I'm not.
You have to talk about what you did.
Okay. Well, I didn't do much. I cleaned the air fryer and unloaded the dishwasher and loaded the dishwasher back. Towels. I'm so not good with this. Edit everything out. See this favor?
All of the streets we used to on First Avenue. Cause sometimes I don't know where I'm going at first. All of the turns that I had to unlearn. Back to the surface, the feeling of all that we were. I don't always think about you till First Avenue. That's
Am I gonna have it this time? Okay. Look at this paper.
Whoa, wait. Dang, are
Pretty
you
good?
a magician or something?
I don't always think about you. But sometimes I do. Cause sometimes I drive through all the
Something to watch out for is failing to differentiate between toxic positivity and romanticization, because if we're not careful, one can easily become the other. There are definitely ways that we can take romanticizing our lives too far. The biggest one is by getting caught up in the aesthetic of our lives just for its own sake, or because we want our lives to look a certain way to other people. When we're thinking about finding an aesthetic that helps us romanticize our lives or think about things that we want to do, what we want is to find a vibe that elevates how we actually feel in our day-to-day lives. The point isn't to just look good, it's to actually improve the way we experience our lives and our environment. We want a particular aesthetic if it makes us feel more at home, more inspired, and more alive. Not just because we think it would look good in a picture. And if not everything looks aesthetically pleasing, it doesn't matter. How everything feels to you is much more important than how things look. Ultimately, the point of romanticizing your life is to create an experience that you can look forward to each time you wake up in the morning. By creating beauty in the space around us, by finding gratitude in the simplest pleasures, and by elevating our lives through inspiring stories and narratives that make us feel like the main character we've always wanted to be. We only get one life and it should belong to us. So don't put it to waste by living by anyone else's standards but our own. Although we're all different people with unique lives, we should at least have one thing in common. No matter who you are, always remember the only person who should be authoring your story is you.